recertification can be really tricky. And I just want to test and make sure everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, then drop a chat, let me know. Or if you can hear me, do this or this. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, good. So Angela, Beth is going to take care of you and help you out with your sound. Now, recertification can be really tricky, and it can be complicated. My first 2 cycles were so easy because my first cycle I had grad school and thesis, bam, 80. The rest of the 20 credits were all grad school credits, and that was so easy. The second cycle, I was very active in organizations and making presentations and building my business. I was go, 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 go. So the second cycle was super easy. My third cycle, I'll tell you, it's my certification is due in 2020, and I think I have about 30 credits so far, and it's due at the end of 2020. So my third cycle looks a lot different than my first and second cycles. So if you're here and it's your first cycle and you're going to get 100 CMTEs, no problem, but you're here just to like kind of what do you call it? Kind of get the squeak out of your wheels for the future. I cannot think of a good analogy, but if you're here just to prevent problems in the future, then more power to you and congratulations. Okay, great. So recertification, as time goes on, you will find that it may become more and more difficult for you to obtain those credits. Now, I'm also going to test a feature on this where I'm sharing my screen. And so I'd love to hear from you to see how it works. When I just grab that real quick here. Oh, here we go. We'll share this guy. So I am sharing my screen now, and I'm hoping everybody can see my screen. So if you can see my screen, then give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Erica, thank you. Appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, we have a chat. Excellent. Okay, sound. Okay, great. Yay, I can see it. Okay, good. Now, so let's get started here. First of all, I do want to sing some praises about CBMT, because CBMT is a really wonderful organization. I don't know how to get back to my face now. Okay. Oh, okay. You're going to look at my screen. That's okay. But everybody can see everybody else, so that's okay. CBMT is a very highly professional organization. So I want to give you this first off the bat. All right. If you ever have an issue or question or problem and it's giving you so much frustration, then do not tolerate the frustration. Do not spend more than 2 minutes frustrated with your recertification, trying to figure out whether CMTEs count. I mean, on and on. Do not spend that much time in frustration. What you want to do is send an email to info@cbmt.org. And I'm telling you, they are so professional. They are so quick to respond. It might take a week because they have a lot of people to manage, but they're very professional in their responses. They want to help. They want to be of service. And so I would just encourage everybody to do that when you feel any little sense of frustration popping up for you, okay? Okay, now onwards and upwards. I want to tell you, we're just going to dig in here. There are certain CMTE potentials, I'm calling them CMTE potentials, that if I were you, this is all my opinion, but if I were you, I would completely avoid these. I know in the forums and out there on the interwebs and out there, you know, talking with people, they're like, oh, you can do anything for CMTEs, like submit anything. But I'm telling you, the documentation, if you get audited for music lessons, the documentation is a nightmare, all right? So I want to make sure that you guys know, that you guys realize, yeah, you can use music lessons for recertification towards CMTEs. But if you get audited, then the documentation is going to be a nightmare, and you're going to have to work with your music instructor forever to try to get all the documentation typed up and ready and done. A similar thing to that one is non-standard supervision, and this includes any any kind of supervision situation that is not standardized, meaning it's not pre-recorded video, it's not pre-recorded videos, it's not the same thing every time it's given, it's non-standard, it's different, and you have a mentor. Okay, so for example, you have a supervisor or mentor. The documentation for this is a nightmare. The documentation for research design is a nightmare. And that's why I'm saying I would avoid all these things unless you are heavily involved in the required documentation already. Now, if you're working on research design and you've got your mentor and you're already writing what is required in the documentation, then go for it. Use it for CMTEs. But if you're just looking for some CMTEs to get, I would not be starting with research design or music lessons or any of these. And last, all of these actually fall into the category of mentored self-study. And in my opinion, this documentation, if you get audited, is a nightmare. So I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Mentored. Okay. So whenever I'm looking up stuff in this is the recertification manual. I like having it on my desktop. I never print it. What I do on a Mac, I know that PCs have this option too. I just hit Apple F, and you can see in the top right-hand corner, you just type in your keyword. I'm going to go ahead and type in mentored. Okay. Oh, look, there's mentored self-study. Let's check it out. I'm going to pull us right there so that I can show you the awful, awful documentation that's required. The certificate and mentor will prepare a joint statement of purpose, statement. Doesn't this look like a nightmare? Who wants to do this? Is just a lot unless you're already doing this outside of achieving CMTEs, right?
Hey, Kat.
Yes.
We can't. I personally can't see that.
Oh, I appreciate you telling me that. Okay, let me just fix that real quick. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for alerting me to that. I appreciate it so much. So this is the recertification manual. I pull it up on my computer. I never print it out. On an app on a Mac, I hit Apple F, and in the top right-hand corner, you see this little bar, search bar. Let's say I want to look up lessons, music lessons, right? Oh, look, it took me to music lessons. Well, I kind of scroll up a little bit, and it's like, oh, this is under the dreaded mentored self-study section. Okay. I wish I could have everybody say that with me aloud. The dreaded mentored self-study, because this is everything that is required if you decide to go this route. It is like statement of purpose, statement indicating the mentor's competence, learning objectives, description of specific strategies, all this for your music lessons. If I'm taking music lessons, I just want to play music. I don't want to be writing all this stuff. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's why I'm saying, that's why I wanted to alert you to anything under this section, including all these, I would avoid unless you're already doing it. Okay, does that make sense? Go ahead and give me a chat in the chat bar and let me know if that makes sense or not. And if you have any questions, then let me know. I will stop and I'll answer your questions. Okay, so if all looks well, then go ahead and chat me up and say, hey, sounds good. Okay, great. Okay, makes sense, got it. Okay, cool. Now, CMTE potentials with easy documentation. So these are the CMTE potentials you can look at, and their documentation is super easy, and it's basically the opposite of the nightmare of mentored self-study, okay? So number one, official CMTE courses by approved providers, okay? So that's going to be a constant. That's going to be a constant one that might come up, all right? You know that if you take a course and you get an official CMTE certificate at the end of that course, then you don't have to do anything else if you're audited. You do not have to worry about, the audit because you have your documentation in that CMTE certificate, period, okay? The other thing with easy documentation, if you're in graduate school, holy cow, you are set because you can look at, actually, okay, I'll look up, here I'm in the manual now. I'm actually going to look up the word graduate and I want to show you the table. Look at this conversion table. If you take 6 semester hours, which when I was in grad school, that was basically that was 1 semester, then you get all your entire recertification right there just with grad school. Okay. Is that cool? Does that make sense, you guys? All right. I'm trying to, aha. Nancy says currently taking lessons without much documentation. I would not I wouldn't go down the lessons route. You saw everything that was listed there. It is a lot. You have to work with your teacher, and then Beth says, sounds like you may have to go back to do all that documentation in case you get audited. Well, it really depends. You know what? Let me put my face on here. Really depends on what kind of professional you are. For me, I like to have all my stuff up front. So if I get, like taxes, I'm not going to just not do my bookkeeping and not categorize my expenses until I get audited. And then if I get audited, I'll go back the last 7 years and categorize all my expenses so that I can prove to the IRS, yes, I actually didn't owe that much in taxes. No. So it really depends on how serious, I'm telling you, an audit is not fun. I have known many of our colleagues who have gotten audited. Not fun, not good, not fun, very stressful. And so I highly recommend that you guys work on the front end and get all your documentation done in the front. So I'm hearing you, Beth, about like, oh, sounds like if you get audited, then you'll have to go back and do all the documentation. That is really, I would just warn everybody. So I just warn you about that, because you're going to get audited and you're going to be pulling your hair out. And the CBMT is going to come back and say, well, that's not good enough because you didn't have enough credits in the certification domains of numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the board certification in our domains, right? So that's another thing I want to tell you guys about and give you a heads up on. Here are the board certification domains. There are 4 sections. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. One second, let me share my screen. Okay. Here are the board certification domains, right? And there are 4 sections to this. So a lot of times we get a whole bunch of CMTEs in the 4th category, which is professional development and responsibilities. This is like, my favorite is the last one, actually. This is my favorite. The last one is serve as a representative, spokesperson, ambassador, or advocate ambassador for music therapy. Isn't that rock star? But the problem is that a lot of times what CBMT will say, coming back to your audit, is, you have too many CMTEs in the 4th category and not enough in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So, you can be an ambassador and not be practicing music therapy, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind, is like, try to mix it up. And also try to do your documentation on all your CMTEs on the front end. Keep it in a folder. Okay, so you guys saw graduate coursework. All right, great. Now, I'm just gonna check on my, 1 second. Just check on my chat here. Oh, the audit is absolutely random. So Valerie says that is talking about audits. And yes, the audit is totally random by CBMT. They have the audit system written in the recertification manual. So if you look in here and just type in like audit, then it'll bring you to like the audit processes, the audit procedure, and it explains the whole thing. Okay, so super easy. Now, Daisy says, does that work for the equivalency program before certification for credits to count? You cannot get credits before you are MTBC. Okay, so probably yes, you must be certified. You must have your MTBC in order to get credits for your graduate work as an MTBC. Valerie says, I just sent my stuff to CBMT and I'm not sure who looked over my documents for your audit. Congratulations, Valerie. Okay, here's the other thing I want you all to know is that if you don't get audited, then I think I drew on my screen on accident. That's kind of cool. Okay, so if you don't get audited, then you're not going to have to turn in the documentation for that cycle. So you're going to be like, oh, you're going to be like, dodge that bullet if you don't get audited. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I highly recommend. So yeah, you can turn in your credits at cbmt.org. You can just turn in your form. You can turn in your recertification form at cbmt.org and not submit any documentation for your recertification. The only time you need to submit documentation to prove all your credits is if you get audited, okay? Now, it's just like the IRS. Like I said, I highly recommend not waiting for an audit to take your documentation, okay? You want to set yourself up for success. Highly recommend. Okay, now, the other thing with easy documentation is short events. I love the category of short events. Everybody's all crazy about umbrella groupings. No. Go for the short events. The limit for short events is 25 CMTEs. You want to go for the short events, and the reason is because the documentation is so easy. There's next to no documentation required for short events. It's basically like a signature and a brochure. A short event is anything that's less than 150 minutes. That is not an approved, anything less than 3 hours that qualifies as a CMTE. That qualifies as continuing education. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, then the other thing, let me know if you have any questions. I got chat open. Music therapy conferences, you can get 5 CMTEs for every single music therapy conference. So this is a great one too. Easy documentation here. All you need is that certificate that they give at the end of the conference that says, congratulations, thank you for coming. Okay, and then another one with easy documentation is all the big special stuff, okay? So like dissertation, thesis, music composition. And so that's why I'm saying, if you are in grad school, then you've got it made. Your CMTEs are done already. Okay, so don't even worry if you're in grad school. Okay, sweet. Now, my last favorite part here is the service credits. Okay, one sec. All right, service activities. Your limit in this area is 20 CMTEs per cycle, but I love it because it's so easy to get these. It's so easy to get these 20 CMTEs. It's super easy. Okay. Bethany says, what if I haven't received the certificate for conferences? Can they pull it up? Yes. And what they should be responsible for doing for you, Bethany, is get in touch with the conference planner or anybody on the board of that regional or national or state conference that you attended. And then ask them if you could get it's actually not necessarily a CMTE certificate. The only thing they're required to give you is a certificate of attendance. So if you went to a conference, then just ask for the certificate of attendance. And so AMTA gives them out, our regional conference, like every regional should give them out. Usually they do it by email. Okay. Diane says, I just completed a CMTE through Music Therapy Ed. I saved it in a folder and digitally. Do I go to the CBMT website and submit? So great idea. Great question, Diane. So I'm glad that you have it safe and sound in a nice, neat folder. You do not have to submit your documentation or that you don't have to submit that certificate unless you get audited. So what you want to submit for recertification is just filling out a form at cbmt.org. Okay. All right, these are great questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Okay, now I'm going to get into, now that we've given you kind of a beginning here, I'm going to get into basically the 13 ways to get free CMTEs. And I also want to tell you that there are 3 big sections of the recertification manual. Okay, the 3 big sections. Number 1 is education. All right, we'll just call it education. It's CMTEs, it's continuing education, it's music therapy continuing education. Second is professional development. So keep in mind, if you can imagine, education is when you're the learner, right? You're the learner. Number 2 is the professional development. So in professional development, you have like publications, you're generating stuff, you're creating programs, you're teaching CMTEs, right? It's opposite, right? So one is education is consuming information. The professional development category is more like producing content. And then the third is service. You can get all 100 of your CMTEs in the education in the education category, period. All 100. There's no limit for education. But for professional development, the limit is 80. And for service, the limit is 20. And then within those 3 categories, there are limits depending on what you do, okay, what you jump into. Okay. So just Nancy says, just to clarify about documentation for short events, all I need is a certificate of completion. Good question. Well, before I speak without looking it up, I'm going to go to the recertification manual. I'm going to hit Apple F and I'm going to type in short events and then check it out. Here it is. Now, the way this is set up is that this explains what it is, and then it always gives you the required documentation for short events. So Nancy, here it is on page 21 of the recertification manual. A certificate or other proof of attendance at the event with verification of the length, the signature, and then if the certificate does not show the hours being claimed, then other documentation that shows this. Okay, so there you have it. It's on page 21. And the way this manual is set up, so let me just tell you guys, short events. So if you come to this page, which is Roman numeral number 3, you can click on any of these and it'll take you to the right page. And the way these are like graduate coursework, it explains what it is and then required documentation. Education courses, what it is, required documentation. And then self-study courses, what it is, required documentation. So that's kind of the, I'm not even sharing my screen, am I? Sorry, guys. I'm going back and forth and I'm getting all tongue-tied and stuff. So you can see my face. Yeah, so you can just go to the recertification manual and check that out. So now I'm going to share my screen really quick. Here we go. Okay, here we are. So here we are on page Roman numeral number 3. This is so handy, and I love not printing it up. I just love having it digitally because look, you can just click on these things. So here's how this is Roman numeral number 3. There's recertification guidelines. It will show you, like, let's say you want to know about service to music therapy organizations. Well, it'll explain to you what it is, and then it'll explain to you required documentation. Both sections are under each one, okay, if that makes sense. All right. Ooh. Thanks, Valerie, for letting me know that you weren't seeing my screen. Oh, man. Okay, so Erica says we haven't reached this yet, but do you have an example of what the report of a refereed journal looks like? I have done 3 so far, but I'm not sure if it will be what the CBMT wants. It is especially confusing when it asks for me to list the domains. Okay, I love this question. So I will get to that question. Save it, and please knock, knock if I skip over it. But I love that. So we will get to that, I promise. 13 ways I'm going to go through real quick. Number 1, write music. And these are pretty easy too. So I picked my favorite, easiest ways, all right, to get your free CMTEs. Write music. The limit here is 20. You can get 5 credits for every song or piece. So super easy. The documentation is like the music. So really easy. Making a first-time presentation. The first-time presentation, by the way, this is amazing because you get 10 credits when you make a first-time presentation. And by first-time presentation, this is talking about a topic for which you are presenting on for the first time. This is not talking about, oh, I'm making my first presentation ever. Does that make sense? Big difference. So you can give 8 presentations on 8 different topics for the first time within 5 years and get 80 credits in this category. What? I mean, I think that's amazing. Okay, number 3, training. Take something that's required for your work already. Maybe HIPPA or CPR, or crisis intervention, anything required for work. And basically, these are educational courses. So you can get all 100 of your CMTEs in this category. The only caveat is, since they will likely be from non-approved providers, you will likely need to write 250-word essays for several of them. So that's my only caveat with that. But if you're going to take a CPR class already, and it's like, how many hours is that? I don't remember, like 16? Was it 2 days or is it 1 day? 8. I don't remember what my CPR training was. But that's, why not, that's 8 hours. And by the way, I want to also let you guys know that if you are in a training for 8 hours, total. So can you see my calculator? Hopefully you can. Let's say you're in it for 8 hours. 8 hours is 60 minutes, right? One CMTE is 50 minutes, 50. So I'm going to take this and divide it by 50. So 8 hours by the clock is 9 CMTEs. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know. And so if your CPR training takes a full day, then you're going to be pretty good. All right, so find free CEUs like given by the nursing association, the local nursing association in your right next to your home or whatever. 1 CEU is the equivalent to 10 CMTEs. You guys, I am really good at finding shortcuts. So if you ever need a shortcut, I mean, look, this is in the recertification manual, and you might or might not know about this, but this is amazing. So when I was a new professional, I wanted to go to the Southern California Association of Neonatal Nurses because I wanted to get into the NICUs here. And so I just went, and every time I just got one CEU, it was a certificate for CEU through SCAN, Southern California Association of Neonatal. I got one CEU and it counted for 10 CMTEs. I didn't need the CMTEs at the time, of course, but so it's really easy. So serve on your state's task force. This is an awesome way to do it. Oh, by the way, and this number 4, you can get all 100 of your CMTEs. Again, you'll have to write 250-word essays, but you can get all of them accomplished that way, okay? Valerie says, this is good to know because I will have to start my CEUs for speech pathology soon and need to know what I can double count. Oh, heck yeah. A lot of it you're going to be able to double count for sure. The only difference is that if it's not through an approved provider through CBMT, then they'll likely ask you for a 250-word essay. But they work with you guys. Okay, so number 5, serve on your state's task force. The total here is, if this is a service, so it's 20, okay? Number 6, if you write a grant, now it's got to be like a grant that's $5,000 or more. Excuse me, having a glass of water. Write a grant. If it's a grant for $5,000 or more, you can get 50 CMTEs. There's no need to be awarded. And the only thing you have to show them is the grant you wrote and confirmation that it was reviewed. Number 7, supervise interns or students. The total here, the maximum here is 20 because it's service oriented. And so for instance, if you get 20 doing your state's task force and then you do 20 supervising, you can only count 20 total in that recertification cycle. Okay, does that make sense? Moving on, we got 13. Okay, now number 8. Check this out. Getting third-party reimbursement. I'm talking insurance, I'm talking grants, I'm talking foundations, like whatever. If the patient or if the client and the client's family is not paying for your services, then you can count that reimbursement as CMTEs. And the only required documentation is basically like privacy. Make sure you're maintaining privacy of the client. And you can get as many as 20 in this category. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Laura says, how do I prove documentation for supervising students? Okay, great question. Hang on. Recertification. I'm going to go over here to, supervision. Okay, okay, here we go. Providing supervision in internship and pre-internship. So remember all these, you just click on it, it shows you 2 sections. What it is, required documentation. So let's check it out. Okay, so here's what it is, blah, 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 blah. Well, you can see maximum 20. Okay, great. Now required documentation, here it is. Signatures from your supervisor. Okay, looks like signatures is what you're gonna need. That's pretty much it. Pretty easy. And then you can see it has this table of like what the equivalency table up here, right? All right, does that answer your question, Laura? Great question, thank you for bringing it up. Great. Now, okay. Does this just have to be 1 semester of supervising an intern? Have to be one semester? Allison, okay. Does it have to be one semester? Let's see if there's a minimum, is what I think you're asking. 1 credit per student. Okay, supervisor. Okay, let's look at interns. 4 credits per year while having at least 1 intern. So it looks like for interns, it's 4 credits a year. And then supervision provided by music therapy, 1 credit per student, maximum 5 credits per year. Does that make sense? And if that doesn't answer your question, my friend, Allison, then I would definitely send in an email to info@CBMT. Okay. Rita, on number 2, how long is the first time presentation and how many max CMTEs? Oh yeah, number 2. Let me go back to that because I like that one so much. Number 2, make a first time presentation. I mean, I think it just has to be a presentation, which is what, 50 minutes? I don't know if there's any time limit. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Oh, you know what? For this one, I look up first time presentations. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. First time. Oh, here we go. Presenter's first time offering of a presentation at a professional meeting, 10 credits. It doesn't say how long it has to be, basically. Required documentation, here you go. Title, abstract, name and date, location, copy of presentation brochure. So it doesn't say, and I would, if it were me, I would assume, hey, it could be 30 minutes, could be 15 minutes, as long as you have the documentation. But when in doubt, shout it out to info@cbmt.org. Does that help you, Rita? Bethany, what if the reimbursement is through an organization like the hospital you work for? I would assume probably not. I would lean towards, no, I better find some other way, but you can definitely send that into info@cbmt.org. Great question, Bethany. Okay, good questions. You guys are making me so excited hearing your questions. I'm so glad that we're getting stuff done. Okay, third-party reimbursement. Yeah, so if it's like your hospital paying for your patients, probably not. However, I will tell you, if you have built a program at a hospital for the first time, then you better believe I will be trying to make that hard work count in whatever way I can. So whether it's third-party reimbursement or whether it's under the program development, but third-party reimbursement, if the hospital's paying for it and it's already been set up and you didn't really have to do anything for it, I would lean towards no, but when in doubt, shout it out to info@CBMT, okay? So service on your regional or state board, of course, that's pretty self-explanatory. I was on the board of Western Region for 6 years, and so I always had my service category easily filled up. Okay, collecting I love short events. Okay, like I said, everybody's all excited about umbrella groupings. No. That is not where the party's at when it comes to recertification. The party is at the short events. You can get a max of 25 CMTEs this way, and you do not have to group them in umbrellas, and you do not have to write essays on them. So if you have short events, then claim all 25 of those puppies. They have to be less than 3 hours, 3 CMTEs, less than 3 CMTEs, and they have to somehow be connected to the board certification domains. It's not hard to do that, all right? Do not umbrella group them unless you've already filled this category out, all right? Let me know if you have any questions about that. Will you give examples of short events? Oh, heck yeah. In-service that you attend. So I'm thinking for short events, I'm thinking educational. So let's just look it up here. I'm here in the whatchamacallit, recertification manual. Short events. Live courses, okay. So it's similar to education courses, except they're valued at less than 3, right? So in service, any kind of educational thing where you're like the student sitting in the chair, taking it all in, you're not producing anything, but you're sitting back and learning. So any kind of training or workshop that is less than those 3 CMTEs, less than 150 minutes, okay? Yeah, short events may be combined to form umbrella groupings if they relate to the same, but do not group them as umbrella groupings unless you have hit the max 25. Because check out, the required documentation is so much less than umbrella. You don't have to write any essays. So Valerie, is that a good enough, are those good enough examples? I'm just thinking in services, trainings, workshops, little, webinars, any of our old live broadcasts in the professional success Facebook group. Watch what's her name in Turkey? Mitzi. Watch Mitzi, music therapist in Turkey, talk about refugees from Syria. Watch her, and that will count as a short event credit. Okay, I am a little bit biased when it comes to umbrella. Keep the umbrella in the closet. Okay, so the short event doesn't have to be CBMT approved. No. And well, look, no, it doesn't. No, definitely not. I'll just say that to keep it short. This webinar, honestly, I don't think you can. Well, okay, here's the deal. Is this webinar a short event? This is so meta, like next level. Whoa, are we getting CMTEs right now? Okay, so let me tell you guys. All right, let's go to the survey. If you can get this webinar right now to hook itself up with any of these items in the board certification domains, then yes, it will count as a short event. Know what I'm saying? I love the way you guys think. You're like me. How can we make this as easy as possible? How can we cut as many corners with still being proper and official? So there you go. Yeah, everybody's on the same way. Okay, so if you can connect this webinar to anything in here, anything in here, then you go, girl. All right, hope that helps. Seems like a support system. You guys are killing me. Okay, number 11, publish an article in Voices. So now the reason I chose Voices is because it's a non-refereed, because it's easier than getting published in a refereed journal. Okay, so hang on one second. Let me pull this section up. Okay, here's a if you are a awesome researcher, or you did a thesis and then in your next certification cycle you're going to get your thesis published, then man, that's awesome. Then do this, because oh, I'm sorry, this is a report. No, get published in a journal, and that's like, I don't know, 80 CMTs. This is ridiculous. No, okay, this is a report. Excuse me, let me find the right one. One second. I'm looking for non-referee. Here we go. This one is easier to get. Publication of an article in Voices, 10 credits there. Okay, so if you're already writing something, then go ahead and get it published in Voices or another non-refereed journal. Okay, and in the glossary of this, it'll tell you what's refereed and what's non-refereed and what that means. Okay, so that's that one. Now, number 12, create a CMTE course. You can get 20 credits. You can get 20 credits in this category. It falls under the professional development, okay, because you're like producing something, right? So you can get 80 total within the professional development, but inside of that, when you're creating a program or a CMTE course, then that counts for 20 credits. So all of our instructors have been able to submit their creation of their course as 20 CMTEs. So we are accepting new instructors right now. We've had a slew of new courses come in that we're going to be publishing very soon, in the very near future. So if you are serious, then send us a proposal for your course, just a paragraph, to info@musictherapyed.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Okay, Nancy says, what would happen if you were audited and the audit found a discrepancy with credits and your cycle has ended? Would they extend you time to recoup the credits? I like your question here, Nancy. So what I'm going to do is go here on page Roman numeral number 3 and look up audit procedure. And then there we go. Okay. So errors in calculating credit, letters, and has the opportunity to request clarification or reconsider. Yeah. I'm not sure that this explains all of that. So I would send an email into info@cbmt.com. I mean, .org if I were you, okay? Valerie might know. Since Valerie, oh, there we go. Valerie says my audit included a year extension of my cycle. Isn't that awesome? See, CBMT is generous. They're great. And then number 13 is we have a free CMTE. We're about to have another free CMTE at Music Therapy Ed. It's coming out very soon. I'm hoping this year. We're working on it. But we also have the Professional Success course. And by the way, any CMTE course at Music Therapy Ed, all of them are approved. You get a certificate at the end, so you'll never have to write an essay if you have an audit. Here's another little tidbit that a lot of people do not know. You can retake courses that you've taken in previous cycles and have them count for the current cycle. Okay, does that make sense? So you can retake the Professional Success course every single cycle, and you know that you're going to have 3 CMTEs in that big educational 100 CMTE category. Okay, so that's an added bonus. All right, great. Now, would you guys like to, okay, let me talk about ethics. Does anybody have any questions about ethics? Because we often get questions about like, is this going to count? Is that going to count? And so I just want to, actually what I want to do is bring you to one page, one of my favorite pages here. If you're looking at getting CMTEs through a provider that is not approved by CBMT, then I just want to show you these 4 points that CBMT uses to deem as worthy. Hang on, I'm almost there. Almost there. I know the word essential is in there, so essential, essential, essential. Here we go. Found it. 4 essential elements of continuing of CMTEs, even if they're non-approved. This is especially if they're non-approved, okay? So the attendance, the adequate length and intensity, the presenter's qualifications, and then the learning objectives being addressed by the certification domains, okay? So this is a really nice page to bookmark on page 13 here. And remember also clock hours of 60 minutes is actually 1 CMTE plus 10 minutes. They always ask you to round down. And so that's why when we did the 8 hour thing, like 8 hours is 60 minutes, is 480 minutes divided by 50 for CMTEs, right? So it's actually 9 CMTEs because they always ask you to round down. So if I were taking an 8-hour course, then I would try to figure out a way to get like 1 extra hour in on that so I can get 10 CMTEs instead of 9. Okay, are you guys with me? Now I'm going to ask you if you would like to, okay, now this is what I'm going to show you this cool tool. So we get this question all the time, does this thing count for CMTEs? Right? We get this question all the time. I have this thing going on. Oh, well, it looks like the company I'm working for is doing this. Does it count? Does it count? Does it count? So I want to show you this new tool that I stayed up until 3 a.m. building out the other day. It was fun. So, you know, when you get really obsessed about a project and you just can't stop. So here we go. Let's take an example. I want somebody to give me a really hard question. Like, what do you have that you're thinking like, oh, I would really love it if this counted for CMTEs? I'll start with music lessons, and then you guys drop a chat if you have another question, if you have a question about something else. So music lessons, were you in a learning environment? Okay, if you're a student, choose yes if you're a student in a class, course, or lesson, and also hit yes if you wrote a report in a journal article. Hit no if it was any of those other things. Okay, so I'm going to hit yes for music lessons. Next. Is a provider let's say my music teacher is just down the street and isn't a music therapist or anything like that. So no, this might be considered a non-approved educational program. Is attendance at a music therapy conference that what you're asking about? No. Did you take the course outside of grad school? Did you take it online or in person in alliance with 1 or more CBMT certification domains and had a duration of, yes, more than 150 minutes. Okay, good. Good. Okay, there you go. That's it. So this is for music lessons. Now the downside is actually This is underestimated. The music lessons downside here, I need to change this, and I need to add, by the way, if it's music lessons, or if it's mentored self-study, then the documentation is a nightmare. But you can get 100 CMTEs for your music lessons, potentially. See page 18 for details and 15 for another type of thing. So if you get audited, you'll need to provide a 250-word essay in addition to other documentation. So for lessons, emphasis on other documentation. So Valerie, okay, so good. So our recommendation is go with an approved provider that gives you a CMTE certificate upon successful completion. That way, the only proof you need in an audit is a CMTE certificate. Now, so here's another one. Okay, so let's try it again. Valerie says, I had to take an unlawful harassment training for work. Okay, cool. So that's definitely the type of thing where you're a student. So let's say yes, because it is a learning environment. It's not an approved provider. Nope. It's unlawful harassment. Okay. This might be considered non-education. Okay. Is not a music therapy conference. Nope. Did you take a course online? Oh, was it, Valerie, was it 150 minutes or more? Or was it less than 150 minutes? I'll just wait for Valerie to let us know. Unlawful harassment. More than 100. Let's say it's less. Let's say it's less just because it's different than the lessons. Did you take a course? Oh, it was 180. Okay, well, we're pretending it's less. Okay, online, and it was less. Okay, this one says less. So less, yes, it counts. You can add up all these short events and use the 25 limit for the short event category. No essays required upon audit for short event category. See page 21 for short event details. Or you can take more than 25 credits of short events and lump them into 3 credit minimum groupings called umbrella groupings. The limit for umbrella is 100, but the downside is that if you're audited, you'll need to provide the essays and additional documentation. So the downside is you do need signatures and documentation for short events. For umbrella groups, you need the essays for each grouping. So our recommendation, it's still ideal to find an approved provider that offers an official CMTE upon completion. That's the easiest, but short events are the second easiest. You still have to collect the documentation and grab a signature, but at least you don't have to write the essays. We do not recommend umbrella groupings due to the essay requirement. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. So would this count? Oh, the unlawful harassment. She's asking if it would count for ethics. Does the unlawful harassment count for ethics? Okay. Is it about ethics? See, now this is a really good question. Let's actually pull up this board certification thing here and look up ethics. There's actually nothing in the board certification domains on ethics. And so what we have to do is, you know, I would lean towards, man, that's a tough one. Does it count on? Honestly, I would lean towards no, because what I've often found is that the course needs to have like in the description or in the title or like, it's got to be like on ethics. Unlawful harassment. I mean, is it teaching you is it teaching you what to do when someone is harassing you? Is it teaching you kind of hands-on things? Or is it really teaching you ethics? Do they even mention the word ethics in this course or training? So if it were me, I'll be honest, put my face up here. If it were me, I would lean towards no, and I would get a different ethics requirement, but you can always send an email into info@cbmt.org. And when you send an email to them, is about reporting and how to identify. Do they even mention the word ethics in the description or the title or in the training? I mean, do they even, you know, so if it were me, I would lean towards no, but you can always send it into cbmt.org, to info@cbmt.org. Now, here's the other thing is that what I would do when I send in an email to CBMT is make it as comprehensive as possible. Make the email as comprehensive as possible, so there's not all this back and forth. Oh, we need this document. We need this information about it. So I would send them the title, the description, the website, everything, every possible thing that you can find on this training to send into info@cbmt.org, so they have as much as they possibly can have in order to make a decision. But honestly, I would lean towards no, because it sounds like it's more hands-on application type of thing. So anyway, is that, oh, wow. Okay. Laura. Wow. Okay. Give her permission. Okay, Laura, I'm going to have to read that later. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Erin. Okay, good. So I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear from you guys whether that tool that I just showed you is helpful. Yes or no. I would love to know if that's helpful. And I want to show you one more thing. Let's say it's not a learning environment. Let's say it's like a program development thing, right? So no. Is it a service, like official service to organization, internship, blah, blah, blah. Let's say it's our third-party reimbursement. Yes. Is it music therapy organization or task related? No, it's reimbursement. Is it related to human? No. Are you providing legislative testimony? No. But you can see all these possibilities that you can get for CMTEs. Third-party reimbursement, yes. Yes! Woo! Da, 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 da. And then it gives you the info. Limit 20, see page 28. 28 is in the recertification manual, right? Downside. Downside, if you're already, there is no downside essentially. If you're already getting reimbursement, then heck yeah, do that. Recommendation, highly recommended if you're already getting reimbursement, fulfills all 20 credits in each cycle. Cool. So that's good. Awesome. So that's how that goes. Great. Okay. Oh, Nancy says, just want to let you know that all my 100 credits, except for 3 of them, are from musictherapyed.com. Thanks for, and Nancy, I think you sent in a question to us too about credits that were less than 3 CMTEs. So I'll go through the form with those too. Nancy says, yes, it would be helpful. Can you shoot? Laura says, can you shoot? Okay, good. So Nancy had told me earlier that she had, she called it a 2-credit course and a 1-credit course. And they were on music therapy specific topics, right? So let's learn about that. That's definitely a learning environment, right? Yes. Let's just go for the 2-credit first. Is a provider on the approved provider? Let's say, yes, they're on the approved list. Ask them if they they do not provide an official CMTE certificate because it's less than 3 CMTEs. So no, even though the provider is approved, the CMTE certificates are not given. You must classify this as non-approved. So did you take this course and it had it? Oh no, it's less than 150 minutes actually. Did you take this course and it was less than 150 minutes? Yes. Okay, jackpot, it counts. So it can count as a short event. Ta-da, ta-da. See how I landed on that, Nancy? Isn't that cool? Nancy sent us in a question about about a couple of short events that she had taken. So, okay, awesome. Well, I haven't actually, so where can you get the handout? Like I haven't actually sent it out yet. I literally created this last night in the middle of the night and a little bit today. So I haven't even sent out the link to that form. And I wanted to what do you call it? Show it to you guys first. So you can have the first dibs. And I wanted to make sure it's going to be helpful and something that would be valuable. So it's good to hear that it is. Great. Erica, your question about the refereed journal. Okay. Yes. She was wondering if, hang on one second. Refereed. Okay. Refereed journal. Here we go. What is this report? We're writing a report on a referee journal article. Well, first of all, the article has to have taken place has to have been published within your 5-year cycle, number one. And you can get 1 CMTE per article with 3 CMTE credit minimum. So you have to do at least 3 to even get moving on this, okay? it's got to be a written summary of the learning experience and its application to music therapy practice and and these board certification domains. Okay, so in other words, I would do exactly what it says here: journal name, date of publication, article, author title, and then in the summary, I would just literally summarize the journal article and explain how it is tied into one or two, keep it simple, one or two points from this board certification. Oh, my screen isn't sharing, Paige tells me. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Report of referee journal article. Here we go. It's on page 16. You literally need to write journal name, date of publication, article, author and title, and then the written summary. Here are the requirements up here, right? You can earn up to 20, but holy cow, that would be 20 250-word essays. Whoa, dog. If you like to do that, then go for it. Okay, now, okay, written summary. So in the written summary, what you have to do is take that article and talk about its application to music therapy practice, and then tie it in with one or two board certification domains. Don't make it any more than two, because it's just going to get complicated. All right. That's going to be the simplest thing. Okay. Do you mind? Yeah, Erica, but they are free. So if your time is, yeah, there's always the time money thing, right? The time money thing. Like, do you want more time? Do you want more money? If you need things fast, and if you're down to like 2 weeks left, then just become a VIP subscriber of Music Therapy Ed. You guys know I'm biased, right? Since I founded musictherapyed.com. And I highly recommend everybody take courses at musictherapyed.com, become a VIP subscriber. In order to become a VIP subscriber, you just need to buy one course, and then you get a 30-day free trial of all the courses. This option is going away forever on June 29th. So June 28th is the last day. So I will get into that in one sec. Diane says, first time submitting CMTEs, and I want to make sure this is the correct way to enter my CMTEs. Log into CBMT, log into profile, go to yeah, totally. Retaking courses in past cycles, does this count for all CMTE? Or is it only, Daisy, you'll have to ask CBMT about that for sure. So I want to show you guys what it looks like to log in to, okay, I'm going to sign in here and show you my back end. I'll show you, oopsie, hello. I'll show you how many CMTEs I've got. Oh no, it's not remembering me. Isn't that interesting? Let's see if this works. Oh no. Oh, you know why? Let's try that one. Let's see what we can do. Oh no, interesting. I don't know why. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna try another screen here. CBMT. Okay. Oh no. Okay, I'll have to find out why this is not working. I've always been able to work in the past, to log in the past. Very odd. Maybe I had to change the password. No. Okay, sorry, never mind. Redo. We will not be doing that today. All right, cool. Okay, we have a couple more chats. Diane, it made you change your password? Okay. I'll have to look into that. All right, guys. So anyway, the point is, okay, the point is that I'm so glad that you guys were able to join me. We're going to wrap it up. I did want to definitely tell you though, that the all access VIP subscription is going away June 28th is the last day to sign up for this. We're in an awesome, tight-knit, like fabulous community. We have Zoom calls regularly. I'm going to stop sharing. We're starting this new like monthly Zoom call where we all get together, but we've been doing Zoom calls that go along with the courses. So we just released the early childhood course. We had a couple Zoom calls with that. Before that, we had the drum circle facilitation course out, and we had a couple of Zoom calls for that. VIPs get access to all the CMTEs and so much more. Also all of our old broadcasts. So our old broadcasts that cover topics like LGBTQ, military populations, refugees, and really wonderful presenters like Jennifer Buchanan, who is the former president of the Canadian Association of Music Therapy. She's an amazing business owner, and she's so great at like teaching you how to be a good speaker. She's on a speaker circuit right now. She's doing incredible things out there in the world. So we have awesome webinars and things that you'd have access to. Also, you'd have access to all the MP3s, so you can get all of the MP3s on your commutes. If you are a business owner, then starting at the end of June, you'll be able to watch the progress of your employees and how they take their courses as well. I wanted to share with you one more thing before we go to. I want to share. Just because I'm so excited. I go to my other screen here. Let's see if I'm logged in. Oh, I am. Okay, great. I'm logged in over here. Let's see if I'm logged in over here. Hang on. We have this new interface coming up. So I wanted to show you what this looks like. This is what our new courses are going to look like. We're doing a complete redesign. It's going to be ready by the end of the month. And it's going to have check marks so that you know when you've watched a video, when you've completed that chapter. And you'll be able to resume the course where you left off. This is the reimbursement revolution with Jamie George. A lot of people have had massive success with this course. For example, we have more than 30 courses on the site. So I'm really proud of our instructors and everything that we've done together for the past 7 years. So people are getting private insurance reimbursement. We've made a lot of wonderful positive strides in our field just with all the resources at musictherapyed.com. So I would be honored if you would join us as a VIP subscriber, even just to try it for free. And you get, yes, and Bethany asked if we get that deal that ends in June, do we get, oh my goodness. No, all of our courses are CMTE approved completely. You get official CMTE certificates. Thank you, Beth, for answering that. Yes. And so, yeah, thanks, Jan. Yeah, the changes are really wonderful. We're working with an awesome designer, and his name is Joel, and he's a good friend of Beth's. Yeah, so this is a little bit about what it looks like. You're going to be able to, this is our monthly meetup. In the top right-hand corner, where you'll be able to hop on a Zoom call with us and jam about your practice. And if you need to get support or help or advice, or just talk to people face-to-face like we are here, in my opinion, the Zoom calls that we've done this year, just for those couple of courses, have been so valuable, just to see other people's faces on the call, especially if you're out in the field and you're the only music therapist at your community. Then it's a great way to feel the love from people who get you and understand your struggles and the way people misunderstand you and can relate, and we can commiserate, and we can also lift each other up and provide encouragement and support and things like that. So like I said, I'd be honored if you could just give the VIP subscription a shot. Give it a chance and see if it's something you like, because it's going away completely. I mean, the price is going up to $695 a month instead of $47, which means essentially it's going away, right? But that is the value of our courses. You can get your entire recertification at musictherapyed.com. We fall into that educational category where you can get 100 plus CMTEs. So there are no limits on the number of CMTE certificates that you can submit for your recertification. And like I said, you can take a course one cycle and you can take it again in the next cycle, and still have it count just the same, no problem. The only thing that they ask if you get audited is that you can prove that you learned like one new thing the second time you took it. So I hope that helps everybody. And if you guys have any questions, or, I'll hang out here for another couple of minutes. I really appreciate everybody coming. It's wonderful to see everyone's beautiful faces. And this recording will go up in probably about 2 hours. So you'll get to watch the recording. If there are any questions that you didn't get answered, please don't hesitate in sending us an email at info@musictherapyed.com. You can call us and leave a voice message at 888-991-CMTE. You can Facebook message us on our Facebook page. You can Instagram us. And we are like all over the interwebs. We want to be the support. We are here. I didn't mention this in the beginning, and I'm just like face palm, face palm. The reason music therapy ed exists, the reason why I'm biased and I want you to come be a member at musictherapyed.com, but I want you to have all these free resources too. I want you to know like all the little shortcuts. I'll give it all to you for free because, I really want music therapists to feel like leaders in healthcare. Like that is what we're married to. And even though, sorry, I'm getting notices. Okay. So even though we sell CMTE courses and that's how we stay in business, our hearts and our souls are married to helping music therapists feel like leaders in healthcare. And if that means that we generate income by selling CMTE courses, that's fine. If CMTE courses ever go away, I don't care. I will find a way because we are married to our mission and our purpose, which is helping music therapists feel like leaders in healthcare. That has been it since day one. And as soon as I got really clear on that vision, then we just went full speed ahead. And we've, we give away free checklists for presentations. We've got a prolific blog. So if you need any free resources, we want to help you. Just go to musictherapyed.com/blog, scroll around, use the search bar, ask us questions, engage with us because we want to just be a resource for you. Whether you buy courses from us or not, we really want to help music therapists feel like very confident, like you can walk up to that CEO and shake the hand. And part of the reason is because in my practice, I had that gift. I was able to build programs and stuff just came flying at me. My practice back in the day, 15 years ago, grew like gangbusters because I didn't have, because I had high self-esteem. I had this like confidence and I could speak to the benefits of music therapy and have the research at the tip of my tongue. And so when I realized that, okay, I have this gift and I wanted to teach others how to use this gift as well, because I feel so strongly about what we do in the world. What we do in the world is so incredibly important. And so, I'm just honored to be sitting with you here. And I'll get off my high horse and I'll step back from the podium and just kiss everyone goodnight. And thank you so much. Oh, look, I have one more question. Let's see here. The VIP benefits and expiration date. Oh, VIP benefits. Oh, VIP benefits. You get all 100 CMTEs on the site, all of our courses for free. There's never any extra charge. It's just a monthly fee. So it's the way you pay for it, you buy one single course. That's how we pay our instructors. So buy a single course that an instructor teaches who you like, because they get a cut of that. Buy a single course, and then the VIP is free for 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, you're charged $47 a month until you cancel. There's never any obligation. You don't have to keep it up for 6 months. You can cancel anytime. You can cancel within the 30-day free trial period if you want to, too. It doesn't matter. Other benefits include these regular Zoom calls where we get together and offer support, as well as anytime we promote a course and we add CMTEs to any of our courses, you're welcome to join in on that. You're welcome to join us for those extra CMTEs. Other benefits include just random things like I'll text you a Starbucks card for fun to go get a Starbucks drink. I've done that in the past before. I'll just send little encouraging things your way. But okay, if there is no time, no. Let's see here. Okay, other benefits though include more than 30 broadcasts with special guests on special topics. Like I mentioned before, military, refugees, LGBTQ community, speaking, grant writing. We have all these webinars available. So that's another perk of the VIP. And then the last perk that I think is really important is the MP3s. So you get the MP3s so that you can listen to all the courses on all your commutes. That is pretty much it. Okay. I think that's pretty much it, you guys. If there's no time. Yeah, Diane's a VIP, yay! Bethany is saying, how many credits is it to start a music therapy program? I would look in the program development. I would actually fill out the form. I was looking for this one because I've started so many programs and I couldn't find anything that's really concrete. So if you fill out my little Google form that I created and you can't get a clear answer, then Bethany, definitely send an email into info@cbmt.org. They want you to get all 100 of your CMTEs. What I found from CBMT is nothing but support, encouragement, edifying you, helping you feel awesome. They don't want people to drop out of the field. They don't want people to miss their 100 CMTEs. They want to help you. So definitely, I'll send out this form to you guys in an email right after this call. And then Bethany, email CBMT if you can't find the answer there, okay? Yay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, thanks again, everybody. I'm going to hang up now, and I really appreciate you guys being here. And you're amazing. Keep up the great work. Bye, everybody. Be well, feel good, make music.